this chit chat. Grab your popcorn, sit tight, we're ready to roll. In the heart of Sacktown, we're feeding your soul. In the King's Court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the King's shining star. With the NFL, Adams in the ring. Rhino's got the wisdom, hear the praises we sing. Court in session, it's a royal affair. With the fans all around, feel the passion in the air. In the King's Court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the King's shining star.
Hello, Friday.
You made it. The Friday could be our last Friday live edition of the King's Court. The way it's looking right now, I think we're going to be good for next week, which means I think we will get one more Jerry Reynolds Tuesday in. But how's your day going? What's up? What's going on this weekend? Anybody hosting a get-together for the Niners and the Raiders preseason game? Are you that hardcore? I'm interested. Let me know. Hey, Dennis.
Daddy's back.
Just wanted to remind you, buddy. Hey, what are your thoughts on the schedule? We talked about it extensively yesterday. So if you want to get into that, we can as well. The NCAA, I am so tired of their act. If you have been watching this show for any amount of time, you know I have zero tolerance. They hit Michigan today after Michigan was penalized by the conference with what, a $30 million, $20 or $30 million fine. Connor Stallings, the guy that was basically compared to a Russian spy, gets an 8-year show clause, meaning he can't be hired in college football. You think the guy was going to get a head coaching job? Maybe an assistant coaching job. Harbaugh gets 10 added to his. It's just outrageous. What university wouldn't pay $20 or $30 million to win a national championship? Your budget on players is 22. It's just silly to me. And here's the thing. How much do you think the NCAA spent on that investigation? It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Maybe we will have enough time to get into it. Also, wrestling, end of the show. It is the most liked and most hated segment on this show. Sometimes it walks the fine line. I've always told Adam, he is probably with as wild as haunted horses. Adam's the one that will get me kicked off this channel. So if you are here for that, we will do that right around 4:15, 4:20, get that out of the way. But you know what I loved about seeing this image? That's why I went with it today, is the Rooks have been spending time together hooping. You saw Law Murray's article. It wasn't an article, it was a tweet a couple of days ago saying they looked really good running the floor along with Devin Carter and a couple other back of the bench, two-way G League guys. I like that they're spending time together and getting cohesion. So that is why I went with the graphic. So anyways, King's schedule, again, kind of the biggest news going around right now in Sacramento. We can go through the schedule. We went through it with a fine-tooth comb yesterday, but if you've come up with any other things that you like or you don't like, the title of the show is The Kings Must Be 500 at Thanksgiving. If the Kings can make it to Thanksgiving at 500, they might stand a chance. And that's not a chance at being the 6th seed. It's a chance to be in the play-in, possibly an 8, maybe a 9. And for anybody that's complaining about the strength of the schedule, Have you looked at the Western Conference? Have you listened to anything Jerry Reynolds or Grant or I have been saying about the West? It's going to be brutal. You're in the West. I don't like the late East Coast road trip. That is one thing I'm not a big fan of. This is the third season the Kings have had one. But their homestand that they get in March, there is a lot of real estate to grab some dubs. They did not have that opportunity last season. They didn't have that home stretch. That home stretch was murderer's row at the same time in March last year. So if you have thoughts on it, if you want to tell me I'm wrong, call me. You can tap the link that is pinned to the top of the chat. You can also scan the QR code that is on the screen. And of course, what we are definitely celebrating around here, Grant is back in Sacktown beginning September 2nd, 3 p.m., 3 to 6 p.m. Grant returns to Fox Sports Radio, SAC 104.7, 890 AM. If you haven't already, make sure you go follow him on the X. Also, download the KSAC app. Easy, free, you're linked in, ready to go. You can take us anywhere with you. So super excited. Great. We've got massive plans for the show and for this channel as well. What it's going to turn into, we've improved the post game every single year. I will be at many of the Kings practices getting audio both for this channel and for the radio station. You might get some post game from the arena with me and Grant. So make sure that you get that downloaded. And remember, this channel's going nowhere. The content might change a little bit, like this show. I'm going to miss being around all you. I know a lot of you are going to miss the chat. I promise you, you will still have a daily show, but it's going to be an audio-only form. So you got to go to Spotify. You also have to go to Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you find it. You can find the King's Court with Rhino. And I am going to also promise that I'm going to get you at least one live King's Court per week. Will not be at this time slot. It might be a morning time slot. It might be an evening time slot, depending on the King's schedule, practice schedule, and obviously the radio show. But again, mark it down. September 2nd, 3 p.m. Grant is back. The Grant Napier Show. Just like you remember, maybe even a little more hard-hitting. We are coming to win. We're taking back Sacramento radio. Grant is taking back Sacramento radio. So download the app. Big thanks again to Fox Sports Sacramento. KSAC. Can't wait to get rolling. We've been rolling on it. It was really hard to keep that secret. Although I will say some of your guesses were hilarious. Grant's going to be calling the Little League World Series. Grant's having another child. You guys did good work on that. Really, really good work. In fact, let me get to the chat before I go over what else I wanted to get to on the show, because I've got a couple of obscure things that are related to sports that I want to get to as well. Again, Wrestling T-shirt Friday, as we do here on the channel. I can already see my man BJ's in the chat. Adam, let's go. Dorian, my man, what's happening? You did. Dorian always does opening night, and I heard you're going to New York. How about that, Dorian? That's awesome, dude. Yeah, who you? Yes, you. Did you not pull up your shirt? Did you not pull up your shirt last week? Do you realize the blowback I got for that? Do you think Grant's not monitoring what's on his channel? Adam, man. I'm lucky to be here this week. You're lucky to have a segment at the end of this show. Come on, dude. What's up, Beach? Been super busy. Missed all week, basically. Looked at the schedule that came out. I don't see them winning more than 33 to 35 games with this roster. I don't understand the infatuation. What What are you talking about with the infatuation? Curious. With Westbrook. Oh, thank you. Dude, it's not an infatuation. It's an obsession. If I was Russell Westbrook, I would be running my butt down to the SAC Superior Court family courthouse and filing a restraining order against Dennis. That's what I would do. Dennis has brought on this entire Westbrook thing. It's all on Dennis. It's all he says. He says it to Grant, says it to me. Now, I get that dude thinks it's going to happen. I don't see. I guarantee it doesn't happen unless there's a move before it. And even if there is a move before it, is it a good fit? It's a Band-Aid. Is that taking minutes away from younger guys? Is that taking shots away from Keon Ellis? Here's the other thing. I texted in, or I put a comment in last night to Grant while he was doing his show, and Dennis was doing his Jerry Jones act. I said, can we at least take a step back and think about who Westbrook was playing around last year and in Denver? Do you think that had any fingerprints on his success? Because I can tell you, most of those guys, in fact, none of those guys are walking through the Golden One Center doors for 41 games. You got to consider that stuff, man. Westbrook's going to be, I'm not going to say a target, but if I'm Russell Westbrook, what's my mindset coming to Sacramento? I hate that I'm even talking about this. And I'm only talking about it because of Dennis, man. Oh, all right. I'm just going to leave it alone for now. James, what's up? Rhino, are you doing the NFL spreads? Yes. So we're going to do those on this channel. We're not going to be doing it on Fox Sports Radio for obvious reasons. So we will get that all together by week 1. That's why you got to make sure you pay attention to the shows that we're doing, even once the radio show starts on September 2nd, because we're going to still put some of that stuff on. And Grant announced last night that you guys might be getting a get together. How about that? For maybe a Monday Night Football game, and him doing a remote show from someplace where everybody can gather and hang out. That'd be nice. Been asking for that for a minute. Not looking forward to road games going through Texas. Yeah, well, you don't know what the Spurs are going to be. You don't know if Wemby, Fox are going to stay healthy. I mean, I don't want people to be hurt. I think there's positive when it comes to Dallas. You play them twice before the new year, right around the new year. You will have already played them twice, and I don't think Kyrie will be back yet. So maybe you're getting that right. But then you get Oklahoma City 3 times in the first month of the season, from the 22nd. What was it? I think it was from the 24th to the 19th or 21st. So I'll have to double check. You will have already played them 3 times in that first month. Crazy. BJ, I'd take a chance on Kuminga, but I'd never give up. Yeah. The Monk thing, Ellis, no. At one time, I was here saying if that's what it's going to take, because you have to make bold moves. Scared money doesn't make money. You've got to make bold moves. You're going to have to move off of somebody you like to hopefully get something better. But the timing to move off of Keon, I understood it, didn't like it. Monk, I understood it and really didn't like it because of what he brings to this team. But if I'm Doug Christie, I'm looking at this team and saying, throw the beam team stuff out. And I'm not talking about the beam. You can still light the beam. But this mindset that this is still attached to that run, it's not. We need to rethink this thing from the ground up. You got Scott Perry now, who Domas said has been including him in the process earlier this week.
They listen to us, they want to hear what we think. I think Scott's done a great job so far, and he's trying to turn things around just like everyone else. I think we think alike, and we both want to get this thing running in the right direction, and his values are aligned with mine. Scott's coming in here and trying to change things around, in the right direction. I feel like what the fans want, what the fans believe in, and to come out, play hard, run, be a gritty team, and so far we're making the right moves. Everyone's working hard in summer, and it's gonna all come down to training camp and get together and make it work.
And I know Grant has made the argument, I heard it last night, that if Steve Kerr doesn't want you, there's a big problem. I'm not ready to jump on that bandwagon quite yet. There's a lot of other teams that were going after Kuminga. Now, doesn't mean that Kuminga's hands are clean in the situation, but there's a very plausible reason that he would be a little bit upset. You brought in Jimmy Butler. All his minutes went away. Kuminga was like the pet project for a while. Like a season and a half ago, that was going to be the guy that they were going to go around once Steph started getting faded out and something fell apart. Is he bitter because he lost playing time? I just don't, I can't completely buy into the argument that he's tainted because Steve Kerr doesn't want him. What makes Steve Kerr so special from any of the other elite coaches in the NBA that have had issues with certain players? I don't know. I just don't. I can't get there yet. Maybe y'all can get me there. What's up, Flores? Happy Friday, my man. I've got some weird. Anybody see Michael Porter Jr. lately? I tweeted it out. I almost didn't recognize the guy. He's been growing his hair out. I've got the picture for you. I'm going to put it up. And all I thought about was pancakes the entire time I was looking at him. You'll get it when I show you. You guys saying hi to each other. Thought Grant was going to call me Sack Steve baseball, Sacramento State basketball. Why would Grant do that? Grant ain't that bad. So, all right. Grant's actually awesome. You guys are debating amongst yourselves. I appreciate it. Tay, what's up, man? Appreciate the show. And more as we count down to September 2nd. Yes, we're going to do a lot. I have some ideas. Now, some of you came up with a little bit of an idea yesterday that Dennis should co-host with me for a show. If you vote for it and it passes, I don't know about that, but I do want to make the last couple weeks. It's not the end of the King's Court, but it is the end of the daily live version of the King's Court come September 2nd. And likely next week, I can feel very confident with our timelines and Grant's timeline. Next week will be the last week of the live shows 5 days a week. So appreciate you saying that, Tay. I mean, y'all have made this what it is. It's my favorite part of doing this. It's seeing you all become friends and debate with each other, maybe beef with each other, but it's never in bad spirit. And you know your stuff. You make me think. I like it. At least we have great chemistry with Keon and Monk. Yeah, chemistry is not bad with them. Not terrible. Same. BJ. Yeah, you know what? You're getting the Grant Napier show back. And I'll be there producing. I'll be hopping on the air once in a while with him. And you'll still be able to get the King's Court. Just not going to be able to interact with me all the time during it. So let's go back to some of the headlines that I wanted to get to. We talked about briefly the NCAA. Man, I would love for y'all to start calling the show so I don't have to go into the NCAA. It's a Friday. I don't want to bring the show down. I mentioned Michael Porter Jr. Look at that. If I just put a picture of him up right there, would you think that was Michael Porter Jr.? And I'm not saying for better or for worse. I just didn't recognize him. like somewhere between Drake and Prince. I've never seen him with his hair grown out that much. Maybe it's an off-season thing. I mean, you're in Orlando, dude. It gets hot in Orlando. It's humid. And you're going to grow your hair out there? Seems like you would have grown your hair out in Denver to have some protection from the cold. But anyways, Michael Porter Jr. with his hair grown out. How about this? Anybody catch John Stockton? I love this. John Stockton. Doesn't he look like Prince? That's exactly what I said. Check out what John Stockton had to say about today's NBA. It's softer. Guys can take 20 days off. Load management? Imagine telling your dad, I'm taking a few weeks off work. Who's going to feed them? These guys do it. How about that? No, we don't need Latrell Sprewell resets about feeding the family. But John Stockton, do you expect anything less from that guy? Is there a grittier, tougher point guard that you think of? Has there ever been a point guard that sets better screens than John Stockton? Don't tell me Jeff Hornacek. Not even close. John Stockton's awesome. Absolutely awesome. You've got football coming up starting today. Tonight kicks off week numero dos officially of the preseason. Niners, Raiders tomorrow night. Tonight, you've got Titans, Falcons. It's football. It's better than no football. And then Chiefs, Seahawks. Chiefs, Seahawks. Yes, he would. You know, it's really funny. John Stockton's son is still playing in the G League. At one time, he was a Kings G League guy. I think he was in training camp maybe with the Kings. But he plays just as hard as his dad. Just as hard as his dad. Just not nearly as talented, but still a really good G League player. We need one last Royal Rumble Friday. I agree. We'll make sure that we get a good Royal Rumble Friday. As I said, Niners, Raiders tomorrow. Some people don't like postseason or preseason. Some people do. I'm interested to see what Kyle Shanahan is going to do come the regular season. The Raiders, it's going to be their first time in their home. They were on the road last week. They were in Seattle. So it'll be their first time. I want to watch it just for Pete Carroll. I'm silently cheering the Raiders on because I'm a big Pete Carroll guy. I think there is something tangible that he brings. If you guys want to Royal Rumble it, you can do it at any time. You just got to hit the link. I am a big Pete Carroll guy, and there's a tangible change that comes into that building with the energy that he brings. Chews a lot of gum, but he brings a lot of good energy. So if you want to talk football, we can. This is something that I found very, very interesting. The KFF did a survey. They tried to reach out to every single player that's still alive in the 1988 NFL class season, anybody who played in that season. They wanted to get a hold of them and get their thoughts on football today. What's it look like? I didn't hear it, Peter. I'm glad she did. Good for her. Gail's a stud. She's one of the best clones out there. And this whole idea of clones, unless you are actually there's subsegments of clones. There's the clones that are just trying to get Jim to bite. There's the clones that understand the show for what it is and might be going at each other, but really close off the air. Some of my best friends are clones. Matt in LA, if you're out there, brother, love you. One of my best friends, something goes wrong, I reach out to him. Gail, very close. Well, not very close. Gail and I are pretty cool. There's that segment. And then there's that third segment of just nasty people that you just don't want to be around. And it's just, yeah, nasty. But Gail is definitely a clone who gets it. Some of you are like, what are you talking about? Why are you calling a woman a clone? What is a clone? Tune me in, Rhino. What is a clone?
Ryan, that's not funny or interesting or anything at all.
It's the Jim Rome show. It's if you participate on the Jim Rome show. That's what it is.
Rhino. Rhino.
That's where Rhino came from. Got glossed that by Jimmy. So back to this survey. They did this, and the results are actually pretty interesting. I've got an audio clip. I'm going to play about 3 minutes of it right now, and it explains really the results of the survey. I'm going to put some of the stuff up on it right now for you to look at as well, but I found it very interesting. A lot of questions like, would you do it again? Was it worth it? With their bodies, dementia, etc., which was a subject that was on this show just a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So let's fire this up. This is compliments of KFF and the NFL on ESPN.
Contact every living player who played in an NFL game during the 1988 season. 546 men responded, more than a third of the players. 9 out of 10 said they would do it all again, and that playing football had a positive effect on their lives in general. This is an NFL player from 1988. And here he is now, nearly 40 years later. What happened to him after he left the game? What's his life like now that he's nearing retirement age? How's his mind, his body, his finances? What does he think about football now? ESPN, in collaboration with health research organization KFF, sought to answer those questions in an independent survey of former NFL players. We attempted to contact every living player who played in an NFL game during the 1988 season. We asked them about their physical, mental, financial, and emotional health. 546 men responded, more than a third of the players. They represented various incomes, family structures, playing positions, teams, years of experience, and racial and ethnic demographics. Here's what we found. Nearly 20% experienced having pain most days over the previous 3 months. An additional 50% report having pain every day. More than a third struggled to walk or climb stairs. More than half experienced confusion or memory loss. That's happening more often or getting worse over the past year, prompting many of them to give up routine tasks or even socializing. Yet despite those struggles, 9 out of 10 said they would do it all again, and that playing football had a positive effect on their lives in general. Even among players who said the NFL had a negative effect on their physical health and their mental well-being, 78% said they would make the same decision to play. Black players fared dramatically worse than their white teammates or opponents on almost every benchmark, from income to health and disability. Black former players also are struggling significantly more mentally and physically than Black men their age who never played pro football. Overall, players' attitudes about the sport are mixed. Most encourage their children to play football and think the sport is safer than when they were in the league. Yet about 1 in 4 believe tackle football should be banned before high school.
Interesting. Remember the talk we had about football, tackle football, being banned before high school? I think that's going to be in the cards in the future, not the near future. I'm talking 30 years out. I don't know why 30 is the number that came to me. The difference between black and white players, I don't know. It's certainly important to the study. I have not read the entire study. I don't know if there was a pay difference, but what I do know is a lot of these guys that they're talking to in 1988, they may have only played one season of football. They may have only played 1, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and their bodies could be destroyed. We heard this, not we heard, we experienced this with, and I want to kind of draw it back to this in some ways. If you look at, and this is a delicate line that I am balancing here right now, very delicate line, but you have to wonder if position has to do with some of the disparities. Think about the quarterback position in 1988. It was predominantly white. You had some guys, Randall Cunningham, not sure if he was in 88, but into the 90s, you had other guys come along, and now that position has progressed. There's a lot. Some of the best quarterbacks, maybe the future of the NFL, and Jaden Daniels is an African-American quarterback. But just as it was rare to see a black quarterback, or they were significantly outnumbered to their white counterparts, think about the skilled positions. And when I say skilled, don't take that out of context. I'm talking about receivers, running backs. Many times, those positions, if you saw a white player as the running back, a white player as a wide receiver, the same was true. It was the same as the quarterback, except opposite. Because usually those positions were filled a lot more, and I don't have the numbers to back it up, but it would be more rare to see a white guy. So I wonder if all of that is correlated in this study. And I find the study to be really interesting as we have it up right now. Total players would play again. The overwhelming majority of players say they would still play football again. They could go back, including the majority of those who report negative health. Black players, 89%. White players, 91%. The negative impact is what I find very interesting. Again, not a racial thing, but a position thing. Yeah, exactly. I would like to have seen the comparison based on positions. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I would say offensive, defensive lines, fairly mixed. I think you have a closer representation of an equal pool there of African American and white players. But the players that were, outside of the trenches, not saying that you don't get your tail beaten in the trenches. You have different injuries down there because there's less space for that huge impact, but there's more liability when it comes to the joints getting lower than the next guy. Your neck snapping back in pass protection. Or trying to sack a quarterback. You wonder, And again, as Paul says, the positions, I think it's more about that than it is the colors, because you're talking about dramatically different injuries and you're talking about dramatically different impacts on your body. Think about how Jack Tatum flew around for the Raiders. Some of the nastiest bone crushing hits that I can imagine. And also, with the difference in pay here, knee injuries, foul ribs, tendon issues, the pay was a pay that was more than the generation before them that was getting needed to get jobs. Now, here's the other thing as we talk about injuries. This is also the generation that they were throwing opiates at, like M&Ms. Like you have Gatorade, bananas, orange slices, power bars, and opiates out in the locker room. What if marijuana was available to these players? So as you roll through this survey, I think it's very interesting, but I think there is a lot. If they can dig into this a little bit more, I think it gets way more interesting about breaking down the aspects and the impacts on football. It should have been positions, not colors. I get why they did it, but it should have been positions, not colors. What are your thoughts? Am I off base here? Most former players felt their teammate and coaches cared about their well-being during their career. Fewer than half say the same about their team owners. Look at that. Teammates. 79% altogether, 78 for white players, 80% for black players. Coaches, exactly the same. Ownership has the bigger difference. 34% for black players and 37% for white players. I wonder, when it comes to disposability, where it's next man up, look at the shelf life for running backs right now in the NFL. I wonder if you're not running backs the last 3 years, 3 or 4 years, we're not getting paid. Shelf life was like 3 or 4 years in the league. And now running backs are getting respected again. Saquon Barkley got that big contract. But they were seen up until just 4 or 5 years ago as replaceable. Oh, it's a system thing. You live this with the 49ers when JP Mason comes in. For McCaffrey, he's leading the league in rushing. So if you do this by position, I think it becomes all the more clear. You can see other aspects of it. You know, the underappreciated. Well, again, like if I'm being frank, in 1988, most of your, many, I would say more than half of your cornerbacks, DBs, wide receivers, and running back, not fullback. There were a lot more. If you're going to talk about white people being in the backfield, you would commonly see a white person, if they're in the backfield as a running back, as the fullback. But I would think on the skilled positions, that's the big disparity. Just like the quarterback position was a big disparity. And now it's all mixed together. It would be so interesting if you did this study and did it that way by position, and then do it again with, I would say, I don't know, 2022, 2023.
The former NFL players
Here's a
represent
little more.
a battered population, physically and emotionally, particularly compared to other men their age. 38% said their health was fair or poor, compared to 24% for men of the same age. They endure more pain and more often. They are nearly 3 times as likely to suffer disability. They've had, on average, 5 orthopedic surgeries related to football issues. Some have had more than 20, ranging from head to toe and all limbs in between. 2/3 of players have had knee surgery, and nearly 1 in 5 have had a knee replacement. Former players report suffering worse mental health and are more depressed, lonely, and anxious than other men their age. Notable in an era of concern about the possible effects of head trauma and concussions. One measure, dementia and Alzheimer's diagnosis, affects 15% of players, a much higher rate than men of a similar age. About 4 in 10 players say they have been diagnosed with some sort of neurological condition, including nearly 1 in 5 who say a doctor told them they have the brain disease CTE, although CTE can be diagnosed only upon death. Perhaps not surprisingly, almost all reported suffering a head injury while playing football, with about 4 in 10 saying they'd had more than 10. If you're a Black former player, in most cases, every element of your life, physical, mental, financial, social, likely played out significantly worse than that of a white player. In many cases, Black former players also fared worse than similarly aged Black men. We asked the players to characterize their physical health. Here's the racial breakdown of the players who said their health was excellent, very good, or
So Black men age 55 to 74, how would you describe your physical health? Excellent, very good, or good? Black men age 55 to 74, 70%. White former players, 69%. Black former players, 65%. I'll let her go on.
good. Now watch the results flip for the men who describe their health as poor or fair. For example, who's struggling to get up and down stairs? Black players, at nearly twice the rate as white players and nearly triple the rate as Black men the same age. We asked who's having trouble with confusion or memory loss over the past year.
Man, I wish I could reach out to them. It just screams position, positions, positions. It's a very interesting study, not something easy to pull off, but it screams positions, especially when you're talking about the joints, the legs. Let me replay this one more time for you.
In many cases, Black former players also fared worse than similarly aged Black men. We asked the players to characterize their physical health. Here's the racial breakdown of the players who said their health was excellent, very good, or good. Now watch the results flip for the men who describe their health as poor or fair.
So 45% former Black players, 31% former white players, Black men aged, and that's people that have not played the game, Black men aged 55 to 74, 30%. This is where it gets really interesting.
For example, who's struggling to get up and down stairs? Black players, at nearly twice the rate as white players and nearly triple the rate as Black men the same age.
It's position. It's position. It's position. It's expendability. It's very interesting. So I hope I walked that line fine enough. Not a lot of people want to take that line on, but I just find it to be very, very interesting as you look at the results of this study. I mean, it's too long for us to go through everything and break this thing down. These are just some of the survey answers because it's a very long study, but certainly something. If you're into football, if you are thinking about having your children play football, if you let your children play tackle football at an elementary school age, something to look at. Something to look at. And remember, this is also kind of a different time where at least I wish this question would have been asked, although I don't know if it fits in to what exactly they were trying to accomplish with the survey. The question that I would also like to ask is, before the NFL, how many different sports did you play in high school? Because I think in 1988, you had a lot more players that were not specialized into one sport. My generation, we were not specialized into one sport. My age, just to give you a comparison, because one of my best friends growing up, Tony Kays, who was at one time the leading receiver at UC Davis, he played or signed a free agent contract with the Cincinnati Bengals. We both graduated the same year. So that would have been 2007, 2008 NFL class. So this latest class, this next generation that's starting now with Jaden Daniels and such, they're more specialized. And it's getting more specialized to where you're only playing that one sport. If you're a quarterback, you're only throwing the ball. You're not doing anything else. Baseball, if you're a pitcher, you're just pitching. Because I think these numbers in 88 would have been way worse if you had the specialization that you do now in 2025 with youth sports. So really interesting. I found that to be an interesting study. Go dig into it if you are interested as well. Paul, that's why the game, Brotherhood, it is. Yep. Style of play and rules allowed, the use of running backs. Very good point. We've had rule changes. Yeah, that's what I said. It's flipped. It's flipped for some of the running backs. I think it continue to flip as well. If Ashton Genty, which I think he's going to have a big year, if he comes through. And by the way, that is Ash. If you're a Raiders fan, that is the core right there. That is your secret sauce. That is the secret to Pete Carroll coach teams' successes. It is having a very effective running back and even a backup that's a little bit of a change up from what your starter is. If you do that, and I think Genty's going to be very efficient. He's got good size. His power is unreal. Those pads crack when he's in the open field, if you can catch him. But if you have that, Raider fan, and I'm not saying you're going to beat the Chiefs and win the Super Bowl, but if you have that then goes right into what Pete Carroll wants to do with Geno Smith. You never want to ask too much of Geno Smith. There's a certain area that you can go up to and he can be very efficient. That's why it worked in Seattle. And then it goes from there. Your defense, you need some help. But that's the secret of Pete Carroll coach teams. Just look at Marshawn Lynch when the Seahawks had their run. Go watch Russell Wilson in the throws that he made those first few years in Seattle. He was not asked to do very much, except much more than, and I'll give Russ credit for this, his elusiveness, number one, but his ability to drop a football out of the clouds into somebody's hands at that time was incredible. But beyond that, it was slants, it was outs, it was curls. That's what Pete Carroll wants to do offensively. So, very interesting stuff. Oh, really? Mostert's the backup. Okay. Dude, I don't think you think Cam Scatterbo is going to have a big year. I don't know. Do you think he's going to be like Danny Woodhead? Is that what you're thinking, Adam? Yeah, started with Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates. Appreciate it, Paul. That's what I'm here for, to stimulate the conversation. You know what else I'm here for? I'm here for it every single day of the week. Y'all should be as well. Bennett's American cooking prime cuts of seafood and steak. You know I could roll through the entire menu because I've pretty much tried everything. But what you don't know if you've not been to Bennett's is you get a top-notch quality meal at an affordable price with great ambiance and amazing service. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Check out all the different specials that they run. There is a special every single day of the week. One of the reasons that we love going to Bennett's all the time, Grant and I, the week of the 26th, I can promise you, if you are there during lunchtime at the Roseville locations, it's usually Roseville, you will see Grant. You'll see Grant at some point. You'll see me. You'll probably see Jerry. But if you can't make it to Roseville, don't worry. You've got the Rockland location, the West Side Grill, and also the location off of Howe and Fair Oaks. Q, if Haunted Horse is in the chat, the red fish comment, one of my favorites, the steak Cobb salad. Don't you dare argue with me about that today. It qualifies as a Cobb. That's a ruling.
Order in the court.
But even if you want something on the lighter side, there's sips and tastes at happy hour. I've been saying it all week. When it comes to football season, the first couple weeks, if you're like worried that you're not going to get the screen time that you want, because that's really when we dig into the couch. It's the first couple weeks. Football's back. The other half to Bennett's, yo. For brunch, 11 to 2 p.m., all three locations. You can get 2 entrees and a bottle of champagne for $45.99. Telling you, can't go wrong. Go check them out. Bennett'sRestaurants.com. You can make reservations and buy gift cards. Check out all of the specials, all of the menus, including the new Taste of Summer menu on the website. Thanks for letting them know that you heard about them here, and let us know when you go in so we can shout you out and let Brian know about your experiences. So big thanks to Bennett's Prime Cuts, Seafood, and Steak, 3 locations here in the greater Sacramento area for sponsoring today's edition of the King's Court. We've got wrestling coming up in about 15, 20 minutes. If you want to get in before that, would love to hear from you. Still got some thoughts on the NBA. We can talk about the schedule. If there's more that we have not gotten to, Mike Allstott. Yep. Rhino. But Pete called for a pass on the goal line. I'll never understand it, Peter. I'll never understand it. It's the most predictable. At that time for the Seahawks, it was the most predictable route. Like, we even knew. It was, at that time, slants and curls. It was just at what length down the field, how far. I'll never understand it. I guess he was going for the throat because you get that crazy play from Javon Curse where the ball doesn't touch the ground. Oh, I mean, Malcolm Butler, he knew that if the Seahawks were not running it, they were throwing a slant. I mean, the Seahawks didn't even send a tight end below the slant to run the goal line route. Oh, man. I know that's going to get Hot and Horace up in here. Just remember, Horace, you guys have not won a championship in how many years? What point do you stop resting on your, 6 championships? What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? Speaking of lately, if you've not been around, Grant is back in Sacktown. Starting September 2nd, 3 to 6 o'clock weekdays, the Grant Napier Show, Fox Sports, Sacramento, KSAC 104.7, 890 AM. Make sure you mark it down on your calendars. We are so excited to get Grant back on the air and retake this market. Grant's back to win. Come join us. Would love to have you. Beginning on the 2nd, make sure you download the Fox Sports Sacramento app. You can just go to the Google, what's it called? Google Play. Is that what it is for you Android people? That's the only time I'll ever say you people when it comes to Android versus Apple. It's Google Play, right? Yeah, Google Play. Go to the Google Play Store. Type in Fox Sports KSAC. It'll come right up. Apple Store, you're looking at it right there. Download the app. Make sure you follow him on the X again. Grant is back beginning September 2nd, 3 to 6 o'clock. We're here to win. He's here to win. Let's go. Roll your sleeves up to your freaking necks. I try to stay away from his lines. But in this case, I can't stay away from that one. Roll your sleeves up to your freaking necks. Grant, what's it going to be?
It will be a dandy.
There you go. From Napes himself. Can't wait to be back on the air. Can't wait to have Grant back on the air here in Sacramento. Do you notice I'm doing my best not to get on the NCAA? Like, I really don't even want to go over what they did to Michigan today. I want to go over the expenses. Yeah, I know Grant uses Android. I can't get him switched over. Google App Play Store, Android, the Google App Play Droid Store. Yes, good job, Tristan. Good job, Tristan.
Every team really needs what I call a
Give it to me. Give it to me. Hey, when I'm doing promos, I'm all gas, no
I'm
brakes,
all gas,
baby.
no brakes down.
So just saying, Grant, yeah, we got that. It's asking for my location. So do I use San Fran? I mean, yeah, you would probably have to put your location in. But there's so many. With radio now, you can listen to any station across the nation on some of these apps. So yeah, I'd probably tell them your location. Rhino chat people, I got a tech question on the Fox Sports KSAC app. For Android. Yeah, we already hit it. We got it. All right, cool. So you're going to hear about this Michigan stuff. It's nothing new. It's the exact same story that they were already punished by or punished for by the conference. Well, you know, the NCAA, they still got to stick their noses into it, even though Michigan accepted the penalty from the conference. No, let's go spend, I don't know, $20, $30 million investigating it. To what? To crack them for an additional $20 or $30 million? That makes a lot of sense, NCAA. Harbaugh's not even there. You give Connor Stallings, the guy that was the quote-unquote spy, 8 years show cause. You got to pile on to Harbaugh's show cause, which means if he goes to get a job in college, he can't be hired. Think Harbaugh has any interest in coming back to college? Probably not. The Chargers are probably his last stop. for being honest about it. You add on to Coach Moore's suspension. It's just classic for the NCAA. It's so rich, the NCAA. So I want to run down how this usually works. I'm looking at the average cost for some of these, and some of these were legitimate. These were major problems. One involves a possible federal crime, but how about $10 million over 6 years to investigate a university? University of Kansas. How about $18 million? North Carolina. University of Louisville, 1.6 or 1.76 million. Kansas Athletics, up to 3.5 million. Florida State, 65,000, because it's not just the NCAA investigators. It's legal costs. And if you want to know what the NCAA does, just go look at Charlie Baker's letter. He is the new man in charge at the NCAA. He wrote an open letter on June 6th talking about how the NCAA is going to do this and this is where the money. It's basically a justification for why the NCAA still exists. You know why the NCAA still exists? Because it doesn't have any competitions, but it's getting close. It's getting close. Just wait for a super conference to come together. You're starting to see these conferences get larger and larger. Wait till they just all merge together and start their own venture. You think the TV money isn't going to go with them too? It absolutely would. There's arguments that the NCAA violates antitrust federal law. They restrict athlete compensation. They cap it at $22 million. Is the NCAA a monopoly? Yes. They control the labor market. There is no other competition than turning pro and going overseas. They determine the eligibility rules. The restraints, which were much heavier before the transfer portals, but even with the transfer portals, it's way too much. I've talked about the bagel incident where one of these incidents that I read to you about. Make sure that we get the number right here. Okay, I don't have that number. But Ole Miss Bagelgate in 2017, University of Mississippi provided impermissible benefits in the form of extra bagels and spreads, like cream cheese, to student athletes at a training table, deemed an NCAA violation because non-athletes couldn't access the food. You think that's the worst? Couldn't get worse than that, right? Actually, it can. How about Pastagate? Have you heard about Pastagate? That's one you don't hear very much about. So silly and dumb. Three Oklahoma football players consumed, quote, too much pasta at a graduation banquet, which the NCAA deemed an impermissible benefit because the food exceeded allowable limits for non-athletes. The NCAA is just making this stuff up as it goes. And all it does is it costs the universities money, and it costs the universities money. because the NCAA's sole job, they are nothing more than a property manager. They are nothing more than an agent with too much power. They negotiate the TV deals and then disperse the money out to the schools. I'm telling you, the NCAA's time is coming. I don't know that the NCAA, as we know it, will be in effect 20 years from now. I don't. I just don't see how they can spend so much more money and make things way more blown out of proportion than they should be when a conference investigated this exact Michigan thing, right? And were able to wrap it up within what? I think it was less than a month and a half. If my memory serves me right, it's just silly. I'm done. I'm done with the NCAA. Speaking of done, we are done with the sports segment of today's show. It is now time to do some wrestling, not actual wrestling. I am the only one in the studio. Fridays, we bring Adam on to talk about what's going on in the WWE and the wrestling world. Been a lot of stuff going on as of late. We'll let Adam kind of hit on that stuff. If you got questions for Adam, make sure you put them in the chat. If you want to call and turn this thing into a Royal Rumble, you are more than welcome to. We would love to have you. Let's bring on the man and Oos. Let's hope he has a shirt on and good words to say. Adam, don't get me fired, bro.
What up?
What up, dude? How you doing?
You know that. Oh, I like this shirt today. A little Darby Allin.
Danhausen.
Oh, Danhausen. My bad. Yeah.
Danhausen, my man.
Very cool. What's up, brother?
What's up, dude? It's been a notable week. The way we're going to watch WWE pay-per-views or PLEs, it's going to be changing.
Yeah, we didn't actually talk about that much last week.
We did not.
No, that's okay. So I think when it came out, we kind of thought that we were going to have to pay the additional pay-per-view fees on top of that if they switched to ESPN. But if you've got ESPN, you're good. All right. So no harm, no foul. I've already got it. Disney Plus, all that crap. We're paying out the yin yang.
You're missing the most important part. They're bumping up the ESPN streaming price. And the streaming is what's going to have the PLEs. It's going to be $30 a month.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we've already got all of that crap. Now I get to get rid of Peacock, probably.
It's the worst app alive. For 2025, Peacock is the worst television app out there.
It's not great. I hate that like when they have a PLE, you can only rewind up to an hour back from where they're at currently. So if you hit pause for a little bit, like you can't go back and catch up. Or if you hit pause for over an hour, it will start catching you up to that hour mark from behind the live stream. So yeah, it stinks. So hopefully this is better.
So I had to wait 45 minutes between the event ending and the ability to watch a replay. That's just, in this day and age, you're paying for that. That's all good if it's a free app. I'm paying for that, and I'm going to the sites and streaming it illegally if I can't watch it live.
Yeah. I guess on the flip side of that,
thanks, Paul.
For all the UFC fans, they're switching to Paramount.
Yes.
And so that's, $70-$80 a year, which is equivalent to one pay-per-view. So I am excited for that. Kind of like the reason I stopped watching UFC is I don't really like illegal streaming and stuff like that. I'm not really down with it. I don't want to get caught. And so I avoided UFC for a while because I didn't want to pay that much money to watch it every single month. It's too much. So I'm kind of glad that all these pay-per-views are kind of going into the PLE arena or whatever you want to call it. It's great. Like I'm happy to pay a monthly fee for something rather than have to pay for each event. That stinks, man. And we were paying almost $50 back in the 90s for WrestleMania and all that crap. So
So the UFC pay-per-views are included in Paramount Plus?
Yes, you'll get all the numbered UFC events, and you'll get like all the fight nights and all that, I believe, as well.
See, like if I'm the UFC, I'm scaling down. I think they're putting out too much content right now.
They've got a lot, but they've also got a lot of fighters out there too, man. Like
That's
it's just
a good point. Yeah.
There's so much. It's the same thing with, wrestling. Like I don't know what WWE is going to do because they're just log jammed with talent and everyone wants to be there. So, may the best man win, I suppose.
Speaking of talent, Karrion Kross has been quite popular. Number one on the sports nonfiction side, I believe it was, or sports biography side, and he is now out of the WWE. He claims it's not a work. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I don't know. This one's weird because you see him in interviews, saying, hey, like they offered me a contract. They rescinded it after 24 hours. Like that was their time limit, I suppose, that they had on the contract with him. And he's saying like, ultimately, I do want to stay with WWE, but I don't have a new contract. And so we'll see what happens. Like, it's just kind of curious. Like, you had the Seth injury work, you had the R-Truth stuff, which wasn't a work. And so are we kind of meeting somewhere in between with them working his layoff? But I would think that's probably not the case. I think they are maybe trying to work something out, but I don't know. We'll see.
Isn't it weird? I read a report that a lot of talent backstage is upset about being lied to with Seth Rollins.
Can you blame them? Can you blame the WWE for not telling anybody what's really going on? Because every time they do, it gets leaked. And so, yeah, if you got to work the talent, that makes for a more exciting show, to be honest. Like, I hate when, the dirt sheets come out or whatever, and it ruins it for me. It's not fun. I like the speculation. I like the, us being able to wonder what's actually happening. I hated the definite, like, oh, this is happening, and then it happens, and you're just like, why do I even watch this anymore? It's not fun. It's a new age of kayfabe, in my opinion, and that's just kind of the evolution of it. And you can't compete with the internet. The internet moves too quick, and word spreads fast. And so that's kind of their defense to keep it a surprise to us as the fans. And I'm not mad at it. So if they're mad backstage, okay. Chris Van Vliet was talking about the LA Knight and Seth match when Seth got hurt, and he brings up a good point, or maybe it was someone else, but they bring up a good point how like the reaction on LA Knight's face was so genuine. Like, that he had no clue that was a work. I still think maybe
I think it was in the middle
a little bit.
Yeah. I think Seth thought it was more serious than it actually was. And even if it was a work to do that on such a big show, you know,
I believe Mankind would say it takes testicular fortitude.
Tay, really quick on the Kings, they've got like 4 NBA on NBC games, dude. Those are better than ESPN.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's disrespect. I mean, that's more than we get most seasons.
Yeah, well, it's because of how strong. It's not because of the Kings. It's because of how
Yeah.
strong the West is.
Yeah.
Dude, is Vince McMahon trying to look like Linda McMahon now? How much surgery has this man had? He goes from that awkward mustache to this.
You know, I mean, how old is Vinnie Mac?
I don't know.
Right. No, that picture on the right was like 30 years ago.
Okay.
Like the dude is what, 80? You know, when you have plastic surgery, you have to keep having plastic surgery and maintain it.
It's not looking good, brother. It's not looking good.
Did you watch that TMZ?
That's where I saw it. That's where I saw it. And did you know that Vince McMahon that morning got into a serious car accident?
No, I had no idea.
Yes. Could you imagine Hulk and Vince on the same day?
I'm not down with that.
That would have broke the internet.
Yeah, and not in a good way.
No, I'm not saying like I wish
79. Vince is 79. I was pretty damn close.
I'm not saying it in like a bad way. Like, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's a work." They're not actually.
It's a work.
The coroner's office is working you. Yeah.
But Hulk and Vince are.
Hulk's in the freezer saying,
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Working on his promos.
Oh no.
So I did go hunting. I think it was Justin or Tristan that told me that if you go back and you find some of the original Raws, which, by the way, they're all ripped down off of Peacock now. You can't watch the library anymore. But I found the Val Venus debut, and I was able to get the entire video. It is so good. It's just too good, man.
Are we able to play it?
No, we are not. We are 100% not able to play it.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
You want to hit the music?
I mean, I'll hit the music for everybody, but we just cannot play that. I'm sorry. I'm getting way
okay. Will
too
you
much
send me
trouble.
what season and episode and everything?
It's on YouTube. You type in Val Venus, debut. That's exactly what you type in. And then there was a second one that was like the main event between him and The Rock on SmackDown.
Hello, ladies.
And I learned something new. I'm looking at it because I'm looking at it with an older set of eyes. Now hit 41. And I'm like, I never understood his trunks, but the V on the front and then the V on the back. That's not like an obvious V. It's just like a big thing of silver. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I get it. But yeah.
Man, I was listening to a podcast today and they were like, if you could wake up, your alarm were any wrestler theme song, who would it be?
Oh man. I mean, you got to throw the Warrior in there. Let's put a Mount Rushmore up. You got to throw the Warrior in there.
This is your Mount Rushmore, not mine.
Let's see if we can agree on one.
Okay.
You wouldn't put the Warrior on there?
Not me.
Okay.
I'm going to save mine. You know, I thought...
Val Venus. Can we start to agree there?
Val Venus. That'd be a hell of a way to wake up. All right.
I'm just saying, like, can we start there?
Are there accoutrements to this?
No,
Velveteen?
no.
I don't know if
Tristan-
Undertaker would wake me up. Yeah, I immediately my mind went to, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Okay, you don't like that one. That's okay.
Is Cena's theme in there?
If you smell,
No, I wanted to go.
is cooking.
Yeah, see, that one kind of gets me amped up. I wanted to go more off the beaten path. I know The Rock is not that, but the one my mind went to was Gold Dust. Like, let me hear some Shattered Dreams to wake up.
You want to wake up to Shattered Dreams.
I mean,
All right.
okay, so we got Gold Dust and Val Venus.
Hold on.
And how about some Al Snow?
I genuinely think that what about Macho Man? Pomp and Circumstance.
Oh yeah, the Macho King entrance.
I think, tell me if I'm wrong, this is the best. It's not his music, but I think
I'm all gas,
this dude
no
has
breaks
the
down.
best song right now in WWE.
Gosh, how does it go?
Tristan says the game.
Yeah, that was their answer.
Chris Benoit,
It's
Hector
time to
says.
play the game. Yeah, I think that's an interesting take.
The Shawn Michaels one's weird because Shawn's singing.
Okay, I am so down with Shawn Michaels to wake up to. Do you know who does the background vocals on that song that goes, "Sexy boy"?
Didn't you say it was like Jimmy Hart?
It's freaking Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
God, I love Jimmy Hart. The best.
He does seem like a good dude.
Yeah. He loved his boy.
All right. So I think this is going to be a fun stretch for WWE because they're going to be heading overseas for a few shows.
Yeah.
Which I think the crowds are, just because they don't get them as much, it's more fun. And then they end up at Clash in Paris, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, and
Jey Uso.
Why is Uso in there? I didn't understand that. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, because he didn't get a rematch from after he lost the belt to Gunther, and so he feels like he's deserving. So you've got Punk, Rollins, LA Knight, Jey Uso. I can dig it. Sucker.
I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen.
Burn it down!
He's not going anywhere.
Nope. You put 3 baby faces over the heel that everyone sings along to and loves still. There's no way Seth loses. I hope I'm surprised. And I hope it's... Yeah.
I was going to ask you, who's going to take the pin? Who's going to do the honors?
It's Jay.
I think it's going to be LA Knight.
If it's LA Knight, we will burn it down.
Yeah.
I'll freak out.
Helicopter, Chael Sonnen. Chael is a different dude for sure. Said his top heels ever are Vince McMahon, $1 Million Man, Rick Rude, and Big Boss Man. Should we roast him?
No, I think that's valid. What don't you like about it?
I'm okay with Vince.
Yes.
I'm definitely okay with Vince there. I don't know how you get to the Big Boss Man. I don't see that. Rick Rude, was his run long enough?
Yeah, I would argue that it was. I think Big Boss Man, like, I liked him as a kid because he was a cop, and I was like, oh, he's a cop, he's cool. But he's kind of a jerk. And then you had the whole was it oh no, when he drug Big Show's dad's casket around by the car. I don't know if you remember that one.
No, I don't. Yeah, I gotta throw Randy Orton in there. His heel work from 2007 to like his face turn, which I think was like, I don't know, 11, 12, was incredible. And even when he came back and had his turn, or he came back and beat Triple H eventually. But yeah, Orton is in my top 4. Vince, Orton, $1 Million Man's not a bad one. $1 Million Man is a really, really good one.
Iron Sheik. Sheiky Papa.
There are some Helicopter. What's yours? Who would your 4 be? I know you don't like rumors, but it's out that the final boss is going to an AEW event.
Find that hard to believe. Is AEW Forbidden Door is this month in London?
The final boss. Who are we talking about?
The Rock.
Oh.
I would find that hard to believe. He doesn't even go to WWE events. So
I mean, I think at some point they're going to have to. I think no, Justin. There's no way he shows up because it would be destructive to his company, and he's on the board of directors unless they're going to start a relationship there.
But buy him out.
And I did see one thing online that kind of perked my ears: a Cena Edge match mixed in here. Do you think there's any world where they might be able?
Well, so Edge signed his contract in January of 2023, and it was 2024, I believe, and it's a 2-year. What is it? Anyways, it looks like Edge's contract with AEW should expire in October. Now he was injured, so AEW might tack additional time onto the contract. But if they don't, which honestly, I like, if you're Tony Khan, what do? You
tag it on. The WWE is trying to mess with AEW, and AEW is constantly trying to mess with them.
Yeah, I think it's a weird spot. Like, do you want, like, if Edge wants to leave, do you want to keep him though? It's like Deer and Fox.
But you're not going to allow him, which I think is like the total slight to the business. You're not going to allow him to walk over to WWE and wrestle Cena right away. You just can't for business. But that's going to that's going to bury Tony Khan in a lot of people's eyes if that is the correct timeline. What's going on with Naomi?
I think Big Jim got a hold of her.
You think she's pregnant?
Yeah.
Really?
She was talking about this earlier in this year about how eventually she wants to have a kid. She doesn't have any kids of her own. Jim has 2 outside of him and Naomi's relationship. And so she wants a kid with Jim. So I think, this was all kind of part of the plan. Get her the belt, get her pregnant, get her out. So she can kind of,
not at the peak of her biggest push ever. I mean, her dad played her down at ringside, man.
Then what else do you need? This is the pinnacle of it. You won at SummerSlam as the defending champion. Your dad played you out. Her dad was in Gap Band.
I knew he was a musician. I didn't know what. Is that a cool band?
Drop the bomb on me, baby.
Okay.
Come on. If you're not down with Gap Band, you can get the hell out of the chat right now. I'm telling you that.
What's with the Steiner family and math? I know that one of them just had their leg removed.
What?
Yeah. Big Papa Pump, I think.
Had his leg removed? All right. Can we fact check this?
Yeah. I got you right now. He's been doing a YouTube thing on it.
Good point, Tristan. Ric Flair was probably the best heel that you loved. But like true heels that you hated?
Yeah. You can go find it on YouTube, the whole journey.
Jesus, was it
yeah.
like diabetes or something or what?
No, so he was pilled out and drinking and ended up running his car through I think it was like a park bathroom. Oh no, it was like a community center. And
Helicopter's saying it was Buff Bagwell. And I
Buff
think
Bagwell,
I heard
yeah.
something about
That's
that.
what it is. Buff Bagwell. So anyways, he had issues with that leg ever since, and the best thing to do was amputate it.
Crazy.
So you think Naomi's pregnant?
Yeah. I mean,
it makes sense if
like
Jim's carrying it.
36.
It makes sense if Big Jim's carrying it.
Hey, get off my boy,
dude,
Big Jim.
Big Jim looks like you would know the sex of that baby already.
Dude, do not hate on Big Jim. I love Jimmy.
He's just dead in the water. Like WWE, I don't understand why they keep spinning their wheels with him. His music sucks. His look is bad. He's lazy. He's been a problem with the law. You got to get him out, man. That better be part of the... I better not see his butt on TV if Naomi's having a baby. Go be with your
2
baby.
months. He gets 2 months from when the baby is born, and he's coming back. Come on, don't do Big Jimmy like that.
Yeah. You know who's showing up all over the place is Maven. Remember Maven?
Yeah, Maven, Hornswoggle, Jimmy Wang Yang.
Dude, do you remember Kazarni? If we're gonna go with the weird ones. WWE pushed, like they did like the whole 4-week build with these like promo videos for this guy to debut. And I think he had one match. He was supposed to be like the weird carny.
That was the best. That was kind of like Odyssey Jones as of recently.
Dude, he got in trouble though, right?
Yeah, he did. But then I heard he got cleared of any of the allegations. So too bad, so sad. Your ship has sailed, sir.
Yeah, Tristan, that's what I'm referring to. Like, if I'm somebody that's in the business, like legitimately, I'm kind of annoyed that Maven's walking around like he's like this star in the business and trying to give secrets up. And I know he started that before WWE did the Unreal thing, but like Maven's coolest thing was he eliminated the Undertaker. Maven, I'm not hating on you, man. You're doing your thing. I appreciate it. I just wonder how much other wrestlers appreciate it.
I was thinking about Mabel. Viscera. That's what other name did he go by? I'm spacing on that right now, but
wasn't he a rap character too? Mabel. No.
Oh god.
That was one.
He was in what was Undertaker's faction called? Oh, I don't know.
Where they raised up Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
What about when they built up Stinsky and he just had the big nasty teeth?
Dude, I don't care. Speaking of teeth, bring back the Brood. We need.
You had that for a little bit with Edge.
God, what was his name? D'Artagnan. It was Edge, Christian, and who was the main guy? I'm spacing on this.
Gangrel.
Gangrel, yes, thank you. Yeah, bring back Gangrel. Pair him up with Karrion Kross. Reform the New Testament, and you could have Edge, Christian, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and Gangrel as the new Brood.
Dennis, if you keep it up, you are going to get restrained by Russell Westbrook. And if you don't get restrained by him, you might get restrained by Grant and I, man. Holy crap.
Order in the court.
That's an
Anyone have
order.
Latrell Sprewell's number on speed dial?
I mean, it's just Dennis, you seem to be like this hardcore Kings fan. It makes you're calling for another guard to come onto this roster? And you treat my DMs like your personal notebook?
Daddy's back.
Come on, man.
That's not a bad idea.
Just saying. Dennis,
You know me on a Friday night.
The host.
You know me on a Friday night or a Saturday PLE. I'll sound off on you.
Dennis, because they played together at the beginning of their careers. That's good. That's going to take the Kings over the top. Yep. And we'll just leave Keon on the bench.
So did Monk and Fox.
Why don't we see if we can get BJ Armstrong to also join the squad, even though he's in the front office? Just roll them out there, dude. Roll them out there. Dennis, I said it last night, and I will stand by it today. Look at who Russell Westbrook played around last year, my man. He made the best of his opportunities because he got opportunities because everybody was paying attention to the other people on the court. People will pay attention to him on the court here in Sacramento, and he is not the same Russ. You are not getting, Dennis, I want you to get this through your mind. You are not getting the Denver version of Russell Westbrook. You're not. You are getting the delusional Clippers version of Russell Westbrook, who thinks he is still Russell Westbrook that won the MVP. That dude will be in business for himself. Like,
I'm going to disagree with you.
Go ahead.
I think we're going to get prime OKC Russ after Harden and KD left.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, I will say this. I've been very impressed. Dennis, bro, I'm on the record of saying Schroeder, he's not going to be getting – he's going to be the Kevin Huerter of the starters, which means he starts the first half and he starts the second half. By the time we are towards the end of the season, either he, DeRozan, or Zach LaVine, they're not going to be happy with the minutes they're getting because there's going to be people that arise and force themselves into minutes. What if Keon has a handle, my man? I'm not saying Dennis isn't going to be good, but 17.2. Your expectations are at his pay rate right now, man. The biggest compliment that I can pay to Scott Perry and to Dennis Schroeder about him right now is you have a point guard. Finally, you have a point guard. It took you $17.2 million with a guy that's been on now 10 teams, but you have a point guard. Maybe that changes the formula. I just, you got to move off it, man. Like, I'm telling you, Dennis, and this is me. I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm not trying to get on you. But if you keep this up on some of these shows, you are about to go round 2 with Grant. I can see the restraint with Grant. So anyways, back to
Ryan, you could always block him
Grant!
again.
Dennis, stop for a minute. I didn't say anything bad about you, Dennis.
I love you, Grant.
I know, BJ. That's so true. So true. All right, back to wrestling.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
I just can't deal with it. It's just like, come on. Yeah, Dennis, call in, man.
Yeah, call in. I'd
Call
love that.
Dennis.
So we had Cody get smashed through the announce table last week at the end of the show by Drew McIntyre, which I love. I am a Cody fan, but I love Drew the most. Drew and Gunther are my two faves. You saw Drew just put that boot through his face, and then it caved in the side of the announce table. I think we might not see Cody here for a little bit. There's rumors that he's going to be filming his role in the new Street Fighter movie in September. So maybe that's what we needed for a break. And then he comes back and we're at Elimination Chamber or something like that.
You're going all the way to Elimination Chamber?
No, like what's in War Games?
You're going all the way out there? That's Survivor Series. You're not going to have the WWE.
What's in September? I don't know, man.
Clash in Paris.
Okay, but the next one after that.
I don't know.
Yeah, if he's gone for September, like.
So what's Drew do? Okay, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he's going to team with Logan Paul and.
Okay,
probably have some interference with that John Cena.
Here's what I would say about that. I don't think you can write off Cody and Roman at the same time. And they did the same thing with Roman with all the tsunamis, and they're supposed to be in the same movie.
Roman's face is on the poster for Clash in Paris. And they haven't announced a match for him yet.
Cody's face was on SmackDown when we were going to it. We thought we were going to get him after the show. But instead, we got Cena.
Darn.
Did you see the graphic today, by the way?
Uh-uh.
Damn.
For the show?
The little stuff I do for some of you. And,
you know, the little stuff I do for you guys, too. I drop Easter eggs every episode. What was it?
Hold on.
Oh. No, I didn't look at that. Okay.
See that?
My brain doesn't work like this. I don't look at the ancillary stuff.
Look at that like the cartoon style too, from Dallas.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Okay, that's great. I love it. I didn't see it. My brain, like whenever I read an email or something, I always skip past the top bold lettering, the title. Like I start to just read, and a lot of time, like I don't read instructions. Basically, I just try to get to the point. So I think maybe that's where my mind went here. I didn't look at all the other stuff. So, but that's cool. I love that.
The little things I do for this show.
Yeah. You need to practice some gratitude, Rhino.
Oh my gosh. The little things I do for this show. Anybody but Dennis.
I think rather than Dennis calling into the show, I think he should call you personally, and then you can put him on speakerphone through the microphone.
No. What's up, dude?
Oh, boy. Well, it's been a while since we've done 3 cameras.
See if we can get another one on here.
Yeah. Let's see.
Dennis says Grant has his back on the right. He's going to call in tonight on Westbrook.
I've missed most of the week, and just getting a little drift of today and listening some of Grant's last night, early this morning. Dennis reminds me of what Rome would call back in the day. He's got a severe case of myopia. He's myopic. He can't actually see what is truly happening in front of him. There's like a shade or a scale, or he needs some type of rubbing of a hard brush to get that off of him. He's seeing something in a different stratosphere. So I always come, Dennis really irritates me, but I always come to his, I kind of understand where he's coming from. And last time when I said that he should get a molar because he was so drunk and so sideways and called names. And of course, the redheaded stepchild sucked up.
You kind of have to give him respect for that. Too.
Yes,
I mean,
I really enjoyed it, and we need Dennis's. So that's my first grievance is airing of Dennis and the myopic and all the fans of Sacramento, because I've listened to other radio stations driving from Santa Rosa down in the East Bay, North Bay. The other grievance is a lot of people get down on people that have Androids. And it's kind of weird.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now
you can talk over it.
Hear about it.
I think it's always, even at work, with my I use my phone at work because I want to refer to something, or if I'm on the go and I'm always trying to listen to you guys or other podcasts. And everybody always comments, "Oh, you have an Android." And it's like, I don't comment, "Oh, you have a iPhone," or "Oh, you have a a Tesla or something." I mean, you're driving an email. Like, what the? I almost said the F word. Like, you're, it's like the same thing. An Android, So, anyways, my other grievance is the schedule. It came on. I go in the increments of a season. Like building an asset, you got to do little at a time. So in increments of 25, the Kings, the way that the roster is built right now, it's like a rebuild, so to speak. Oh, thank you, Rhino. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I forgot what my third grievance was, and it's a grievance against myself.
Oh,
that's right.
Of course, you forgot it.
The airing of grievances.
That is funny. You forgot the one on yourself.
Now you're gonna.
All right, do it, BJ.
BJ, we are judging you, man. Get rid of your freaking Android and get on the bus, man. Come on, brother.
I will never, ever, ever, ever have an iPhone. I'll be Android
the same way. I converted. Life's better on the other side, man. It's just easier.
Wait, you converted to Android too?
No. I was a big Android guy 10 years ago, whatever it was. And one day I was like, I'm going to make this switch. Okay. And I did, and I never looked back.
Let me make a small argument. I am not the subsegment that believes this, but I think some Apple people think that Android people believe that Apple is so difficult to operate. It's this redheaded stepchild, etc. As BJ would say, like they think it's like, I just can't take the time to learn that. I just can't. But yet with Android, you're doing all these different steps. You're treating it like a PC computer, man. And an iPhone works completely different than a Mac computer. Yeah, they're the same brand, but I don't know. It's just...
I just love how everything's integrated. If you use the same email address on your devices, it all syncs together. It's great.
But that's Haunted Horses.
I know. He hates it.
No, he says, "Oh, you're lazy. You're lazy. It does it all for you." But you know what else Haunted Horse does? He spends 15 minutes talking about his tech. Oh, sorry, I didn't change the size of this, and I didn't change the size because I moved the studio around, and the green screens are all over here. Here, let me show you the gym in Indiana cam. See the green screens and my 14 monitors.
If you've ever been on a tour of Horse's setup inside of his office, it's something else.
It's so overcomplicated.
It's wild. And he's like, how do you...
There's a woman next to you.
That's my daughter.
Hook up all the podcast stuff to your Mac laptop? And I'm like, dude, I have like a dongle basically that is in a USB, I don't know, port or whatever you call it. And I just plug everything into there and I plug it into my computer and it works.
I think dongle should be on the list of banned words.
Banned words?
Yes.
Totally. So
It's
Horse is probably counting up his Safeway points to get a brand new flux capacitor, and he's gonna throw that in the mix just to freaking confuse everybody. It's like more is better. I don't know. I did like that kid that Portland drafted in the summer league, the Chinese kid. He had
yeah.
this. I liked his motor. When you get some weight behind him and some muscle, I think he's going to be pretty good, fun to watch. Hey, my last grievance, I didn't actually say it, but can you give it, can you hit that grievance for me?
Sure. I can get the grievances for you. Give me 2 seconds. Your last airing of the Friday grievances.
Yes, sir.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
I'm having a grievance with myself because I'm conflicted in that I have a little bit of nervousness and anxiety that the King's Court is going away. And a lot of times I'm right there because I get long stretches off, but then I work a lot, so then I miss it. So I'm conflicted, and I'm so happy to see. I'm so happy for Grant to be back, and he's coming back, and he's going to come back and win. He's going to get the #1 spot. It's like it's long overdue, and that's what Grant deserves. But for me myself, I'm like, okay, so I have to transition into listening to the King's Court with no chat potentially, but maybe am I yelling? If I am, just tell me.
No, you're good.
But
You're good.
if I'll have to listen to it on Spotify, you had said earlier, I thought, and or on the iPhone app. So I guess my grievances for me is that transition is good and growth is painful sometimes, and we need change. And it's a universal law that without resistance, you're not going forward. So the awesome thing is that Napes is going to be on the freaking radio again, which is going to be awesome. And I hope he just lets it fly and gives everybody the Napes love and then that tough love, which I believe he will. So I guess that's my last grievance. When's the last show, Rhino?
For the King's Court?
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. It's not going away. It's just the Monday through Friday aspect at this time slot is going away.
Right.
So I'm going to make sure that we do one live one per week. But you're going to get probably a daily one on Spotify. Yeah, the last time is now. You're probably, did you just hold that up?
I like
That's
that.
so good. That's good. Well done. Well done. You'll get a daily, but it's not live with the chat. And that's just so everybody knows, that is something we are looking at. That is something that we are working through. You will get the chat when it comes to post-game shows and all that. When Grant does shows outside of the radio show. But I'm looking into, we are. Just know that how this show's grown and the channel here has grown, the radio show is going to grow as well. So we're going to keep adding different stuff in.
I have another question right now.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you. Are you going to do pre-games or for sure post-games? For sure, I could see you doing post-games. It might be late, but what about pre-games? Do you think you'll get into a groove and like, hey, maybe one of these games I can do a pre-game, or for sure every pre-game you're down at the stadium?
Yeah, pre-games, no.
Not sitch kebabs.
Yeah, you might get a check-in every once in a while if it's a game where you might get them if it's a game where we're not working radio-wise, but not every game. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Which for some of you up-and-coming podcasters, does that mean there might be a spot open on this channel?
How do you do that? Where do you put your resume in at? Adam, you can get in on that.
Yeah. Hey, let's go. 82 games next season, baby.
We need some pregame. We need some pregame and like some color and a little bit of politics. And as long as the Jock Sniffer's owning the team, there's a lot to talk about. It crosses over to sports and everything. Actually, I mean, it's real life stuff. Yeah. Unless you're myopic like Dennis. Dennis, if you keep saying this thing about Westbrook, You're going to end up getting Westbrook, and then Westbrook is going to compete for a starting position, and Schrader's going to come off the bench, and Schrader's going to be very upset and butthurt, and everyone's going to be confused because they paid him so much money so early. Like, they didn't have to pay him that much money, let alone come out the chute and just give him all that money. I mean, he's Dennis Schroeder, okay, so he's proven he can do a point guard position, but to me, he's not really a pass first guard. And if you bring someone like Westbrook around, Westbrook will be your point guard. So, and why Jonathan Kuminga? It's like, I would take a chance on him, but I would wait it out, just like I would have waited it out with Mr. Fox. You don't have to like rush into these things. And signing no buckets, which I like him anyways because he's got a good mentality. He's a good locker room guy, and I guess he's a veteran, so to speak, but. They didn't have to pay him money right off. He could have been training in Sacramento and you didn't have to give him a contract, and he could have been one of the last guys on. It would have made more sense, and it would have been a better mindset, better mentality of like how you're building a culture. But I'm just starting to bitch, and I wish Dennis would have called because I don't really understand Dennis's point of view of wanting another point guard or someone like Westbrook. Why would Westbrook want to come here? Does anybody know that? The last time is now.
I think we should sign Westbrook, Chris Paul.
Sign them all.
Chris Paul would have been a good signing. That would have been a great signing on a 1-year deal. Are you kidding me? That would have been perfect.
I'm with that. I think we should have got Paul with the Fox trade. To be honest, I don't know why the hell we didn't pull Chris Paul out of that.
That's a good point.
That would have been a good one. That's a
probably
excellent
didn't want the
point.
salary. That would be my guess.
Yeah, Kings don't want to do anything.
No.
Yeah, Patrick, thank you. And guys, you're not going to have a different Grant Napier that is doing a show here and then doing a different show on the radio. It's the same show. It's the same show. You think he's going to hold back? No.
Napes has been Nape since I first heard him, and when I was in high school. 87, 88, and then I decided to move down here in 89 and just to watch, and then I really became a Kings fan in late 88, 89, and I was, oh man, I loved it. And that back then the players would go and play at different gyms in the Sacramento area, and so you could actually play a pickup game if you could play, but and they were very not so much accessible, but it was like they were doing their craft and they were being humans, but you could tell it was out on another level. So it's the times have changed, and I sound like an old man. I guess that's another grievance. I am grieving on time. No, I love it.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people.
You're right, man.
Now,
back in the day, all the players used to do signings at J.C. Penney or
Junior, Mitch Richmond, Carl's Jr. all the time.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, right? Like, I think that era's gone.
I come from an era of when I saw Ricky Henderson play over and over and over in the Oakland Coliseum. So my parents, my father and my uncle had season tickets to that Coliseum and indoors, and I saw a lot of baseball, and I got to see a lot of football. I mean, who takes their 5-year-old to a Raiders game in 1975? My father. So it's crazy. I grew up basically in Candlestick and in the Oakland Coliseum, and to see Ricky, he was even though he was very arrogant and into himself. As a kid, I was probably 9, 10, 11. Yelling out to Ricky, and he would come over and he would talk and he would sign cards, and it was a different era, and he was one of the greats. I mean, if you think about it, I don't know. It's kind of sad. It's bittersweet about the A's. That's another grievance. I see the score comes up,
of grievances.
And it kind of pains my soul because I've been to so many A's games when they meant something, when they were like a meaning, like the city. And now it's weird. They're going to go to Vegas. I don't think they're going to do so good in Vegas. Baseball doesn't seem like it goes in Vegas, but I don't know. I'm from the 80s.
I don't know that they'll
It doesn't seem
end up
like
in Vegas. We'll see. Patrick, yes, I will be doing stuff from the arena
Nice.
sometimes as well, be at practices, etc. So yeah, I had to change some stuff around on my profiles because of that. But
That's good to be awesome, Rhino. When you get access to practice, because you have a basketball mind, and you'll get to see how practice is run, and who is really vying to play, and who's really just hanging around to play out a contract. And there's a big difference, and that's why everybody would like to just see all these all-stars come together. But it's a mentality. It's what makes you go, whether you're in a big family or a small family or a church, or building a business or a basketball team. It starts with the way that you think. And just because you get a whole bunch of all-stars together or people that can score, talk about empty points. Somebody, there was a dumbass on here about a month ago that talked about Sabonis having empty points. It's like, how do you figure that Sabonis is an empty point guy? He's like so critical. If you just averages wise, I mean, he's like a 20-20 guy that can get anything if you play to his. I'm not a big Sabonis guy, but I'm just saying that's an asinine statement to say that he's an empty points guy. I would say Levine's more of an empty points guy. He scores 32, 33, 31, 28, 29, but it's all slot points. It's like at the end of the game when it's already been the game's been decided. So I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess my grievance is that I tend to ramble a little bit, and sometimes you're going to make a mistake, or you're always going to make a mistake. But when it's not that you're going to make a mistake, it's when you're going to make a mistake. So,
okay,
I love you guys.
Yeah, you hold on. You stay right there. You stay right there too, Adam. Two quick pieces of business. The first, like we've been saying in lamenting on Napes back in Sacramento, 104.7, 890 AM Fox Sports. KSAC show begins September 2nd, 3 to 6 every weekday. Get ready. Grant's coming back. Make sure you subscribe to the KSAC app as well. You can find it in the Google Play Store and the App Store on Apple. Speaking of Grant, he is back tonight at 7 p.m. Make sure you join him in just a couple of hours. BJ, I'm going to let you do something that nobody else has done before on this show. Take us home, brother.
Oh, wow. Well, can I look at you and Adam, because it's you guys have soft eyes. It's easier to look at you. There we go. Thank you. Well, I'm first off, I am very, very honored to have the chance to do a goodbye, but it's not goodbye forever. It's goodbye in a transition, and transitions are good. Look at Nate's. His transitions are phenomenal when he starts talking about Bennett's, and he goes into, well, I know that if you were to live in where Connor can help you buy something out, and we're out in wherever that place that he goes to, I am really excited, Rhino, to have to have got to have been able to meet you, and to be able to spend some time with you and go to the Stockton games, which is great basketball. Your mind is special, and we're very lucky to get to see a future great of Sucktown. We were watching Rhino become a future. He's an underling of the redheaded stepchild of Sucktown, so naturally he's going to be a legend too. It's so awesome that we're going to get to see a new format, and we're going to get to see more stuff. And I'm really excited that Rhino gets to get into the backgrounds of what, the mentality of how somebody, if you show up early for practice, if you leave, if you even show up, if you're not on point and you're not buying in, because we can have the best coach in the world, but if you're not buying into what that system is and everybody's going to do their part, then it's going to fall apart. So if that's going to happen, let's just go defense, let the young guys play. And I think we have to be defensive minded and worry about the offense a little bit later. But I love you, Rhino. I love you too, Adam. And I hope, Adam, you would try to do a little bit of pregame. I don't know, you like basketball, right? You're in Arizona. That's interesting.
I grew up in Sac. I'm a lifelong Kings fan.
Nice.
And that's followed me wherever I've lived. And, I love basketball, but it's because of the Kings. I care more about the Kings than I care about basketball, to be honest with you. So I don't know, you know, the fundamentals and the plays and shit like that, whatever. I just love the Kings more than anything. So
that's the beauty of that's the incredible beauty of Sacramento is the people and the heart and soul of how Sacramento people are, whether they live here for a little bit, came through, lived here for a long, long time, or lived here and went and moved somewhere else. It's the blue collar attitude, and it's the mindset of how you approach things that helps. And I think the Kings actually bleed a little bit of that. And I love Doug Christie as a player that way. He is that. And but will it transition? It's very hard for a player like that to transition into coaching unless he uses the pieces around him as an elders that coach. So I think there's a positive to the Kings, but people, I heard on another station someone said they were going to win 49 games. I think that's kind of ridiculous and it's myopic. If we think of it more as we think of defensively, we have a good defensive mindset that we could be in a chance of any game. You're going to try to outscore people. You have to stop people from scoring. So anyways, thank you so much for this opportunity. I love you, Rhino, so much. I didn't say I was ever going to buy tickets this year because I don't really believe in the jock sniffer. But if I can get some tickets to go in there, I will certainly go in there and I will bump into you, Mr. Rhino. I love you, my man.
You too, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. BJ, tell us court is dismissed, buddy.
Court is dismissed. I love you guys.
Order in the court. Yarami!